Hi, I'm Charlotte Clary with the Mustard Tree, and today I'm going to show you how to make horsetail tincture. Horsetail is a scrubby little herb that grows up in wet areas, against fence lines, in ditches in the springtime, in parts of the United States. We're in Washington State here. Here's another young one. You want to pick this when it's small and tender in the spring like this. I have picked it when they were a couple feet high and I couldn't use it, but it was fun to play with, because the thing that's fun about horsetail when they get mature is you can pop them apart and put them back together. Now, many of you might have done that when you were a child. If so, leave a comment. It's definitely an intriguing little plant. Horsetail is full of silica and minerals. Silica is one of the things that makes bones strong, fingernails strong, hair strong, so it's wonderful to use as a supplement for that. You don't want to take it more than for a solid month at a time though, because it can be a little too much on the system. The main reason I'm telling you about it today though is because it's so wonderful for urinary tract infections, bladder, and kidneys. So let's look at this closely. I have a bag of it. I cut the big stems off already, and I just wanted to show you here. I have a scale, and I'm going to weigh this. I'm going to end up with a little over a pound of product. So that's 16 ounces. So when I'm making a live tincture like this using fresh herbs, I use a different vodka than if I'm doing dried herbs. The vodka I normally use in dried herbs is a Monarch vodka. It's considered 100% proof, but that's not strong enough when I'm using fresh herbs. These fresh herbs have lots of water content. So I had to go get the expensive kind today. This is called Everclear, and this is 95% alcohol by volume. It's considered 190 proof. So keep this out of the reach of anybody, unless you're making tinctures. So here's our alcohol. What I'm going to do now is set my scale aside, and I'm just going to pull out my herbal mixtures, my plant here. And I'm taking my big knife, and I'm just going to cut this up more so that it can be accessible. Yeah, I guess we're going to take a few at a time. Easier for the alcohol to get into all of its material here. I'm just cutting it up into, as you can see, kind of like inch-long pieces here. And so bear with me while we cut. This has virtually no fragrance to it whatsoever. This part of the horsetail is actually the male portion. The female portion has interesting little pods, but that's not what we're using. So here's the amount of product I ended up with. I ended up cutting it with scissors. It was easier than the knife. And I took out still some larger branch pieces that I'm not going to use. So now I have just about a pound of this, 16 ounces. This is about 33.3 ounces. So that's a 2-to-1 ratio. 16 times 2 is 32. I'm getting pretty close there. So that's going to be good enough. Okay, now I'm going to put this in my jars. And I'm not sure how all this is going to work for the amount of product I have. We're just going to stuff the jar here. Pushing it down. Oops. Still some big chunks. Maybe it's just easier this way. There we go. I'm gonna switch out, work in this jar now. I suppose there's some people out there that know how to do this and not make messes, but that's really not my style. Take that branch off there. Okay. When this is all done, it's going to go back into one big batch. So if there's an ounce or two more in one jar, it's not really going to matter. I'm going to press it down. Press it down. We're looking pretty even there. So I have about 8 ounces of herbal material per jar. So let's see how I do. You want the product to stay covered. Okay, here we go. This might take both of my jars. Okay, wait, we're doing good. Let's see how we do over here on this one. I think we did it. Look at that. Ta-da! So you want the product totally covered. Nothing sticking out of the water. Sometimes you might want to take some other little ceramic item and stick in there to hold that down. But for purposes right now, I think we're pretty good. I went ahead and put labels here that say Horsetail 1 to 2 is what I'm going to put on it. I didn't know if I would make it to a 1 to 2 because of the volume, but I will. So I'm going to put that 2 on there right now. And then I put the date. Okay. Horsetail 1 to 2. 1 to 2. Today's date, May 8th, 23. There's different opinions on how long you need to leave these sit. Put them in a dark closet and go in and I like shake them every day if you can. But then if you're going to do that, you're going to make sure it stays submerged under there. Oops, that's there. I'll submerge this one again. I like to not get in a hurry and let these set for 6 weeks. Some people are very particular and they pull them on a full moon. I'm sure that the gravitational force of the moon helps. That's a scientific fact. But you have to be more organized than I am to do that. So I'm just going to look at 6 weeks from now. And this is May 8th, so the rest of the month, May. Towards the end of June, I will pull these, toss the herbs out, and move them into 1 ounce jars with labels. Thank you very much for watching. See you next time at the mustard tree. Don't forget, plant your seeds, pull up your weeds. Bye.